What's up, and welcome back to Interpreting the Stars, where today I'll be talking about a brand new action comedy film from Well Go USA, hitting the theaters and digital on May 7th. It's The Paper Tigers. As teenagers, Kung Fu disciples Danny, Hing, and Jim were inseparable. Fast forward 25 years, and each has grown into a washed-up, middle-aged man seemingly one kick away from pulling a hamstring, and no longer preoccupied with thoughts of martial arts. But when their old master's murdered, the trio reunites, soon learning that avenging their Sifu will require conquering old grudges if they are to honorably defend his legacy. I've always considered myself to be a big defender of martial arts films since they've always been sort of a guilty pleasure of mine, and if there's one thing that I can count on from Well Go USA is a good action film. You probably know them best from the wildly popular Ip Man franchise to Train to Busan, or even just recently I've enjoyed The Villainous as well. And while The Paper Tigers doesn't necessarily match those films in terms of cinematography or budget, it does match them in heart. This is an action comedy with three aging guys that have kind of forgotten the way, and watching them try to regain some of that knowledge is a mixture of humor, heart, and honor. These are some really funny and likable guys, and it should be no surprise that this film came out now, given the recent success of Cobra Kai. Now, I'm not entirely sure if Cobra Kai inspired them to make this movie or not, but it has some of that same feel. That is, middle-aged dudes fighting each other while surrounded by a bunch of kids with attitude problems. And honestly, that's all the movie needed. But it also actually had some decent fight choreography as well, all of which was shot and edited extremely well, with just the right balance between silly, physical humor and serious battles that actually mean something. Each character in The Paper Tigers is there for a reason, and they're all developed in a realistic, relatable way. Honestly, this film is not bad at all. It has a little something for everyone. The only issue that I ran into while watching was, simply put, it didn't have the biggest budget, so they were limited in some of the things that they could pull off. And in general, you could feel that lightness in budget. Parts of it feel like maybe more of a TV special or something, but, a good TV special. And in general, I definitely recommend this one, but let's go ahead and break down my final score for a second. From an unbiased technical level, I think there's more to this film than meets the eye. It's definitely a character-centric film that has a lot of depth to the story and development to the characters. So regardless on how it plays out, I feel like you can really end up caring about these guys because of the thought and the care that was put into the film behind the scenes. I actually think this is a very well-made film. The only thing that actually could have been technically done better is maybe some of the cinematography and in general some of the visuals. But as is, it's fine. This unbiased score is 84%, and the biased score, or how I felt about the film in general, wasn't too far off because I definitely had fun with the film. But when asked on if I'd rewatch it, and if I consider it to be a film that I want to go out and buy, I'm not sure. I wouldn't mind owning it or rewatching it, but after seeing the film, I wasn't clamoring to turn it back on and watch it again. So this score is 74%. When we average out the two scores together, we come to the final rating of 79%. 79 out of 100 possible stars, or a C+ letter grade. What makes this so interesting is because this film came out around the same time period of another fighting film on HBO Max called Mortal Kombat. Now, these two movies, apart from fighting, have nothing to do with one another. They're vastly different movies. But I did score them exactly the same. The only difference is my bias score was higher for Mortal Kombat, while my technical score was higher for The Paper Tigers, which means that The Paper Tigers is technically better than Mortal Kombat. But I probably prefer to just have dumb fun watching Mortal Kombat, if that makes any sense. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this review. If you've seen The Paper Tigers, please let me know your thoughts on it in the comment section down below. And as for YouTube, you guys know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button, and bell to be notified when I come out with my next review. And until then, peace out.
Dave examines movies we just watch for fun. Davey is the expert. He is the #1 critic that I go to when I need a movie pick. Thanks for joining up with us.